We go to our local 8 News reporter China Green. She is again live in Gatlinburg tonight.
In China, you met two men who single-handedly helped rescue 14 people from the fires.
Right, I did. I've been here all week, and the stories that I've heard of how people have escaped these fires is endless. But for every one of those stories is a story like this. At first, it was the rental cabins Brian McGee was worried about most.
Everything was engulfed in flames. The car that I'm sitting on was blocking the only exit out from the top of this mountain.
When he heard they were on fire, he grabbed his friend Matthew and headed up the mountain.
There are people up there who don't know how to get off the mountain, and if we don't go save them, they'll burn up there.
When they realized people were trapped, they forgot about saving Brian's cabin and began saving lives.
And we went cabin by cabin, banged on every door that we could, kicked in doors. It didn't matter at the time.
If there were people inside,
We didn't want anybody to burn. We knew they were helpless.
Matthew and Brian saved 14 people that night.
Of those 14, for sure, we know there would have been a complete fatality because he was asleep in his cabin.
Brian and Matthew pointed people to a back road they knew to get them to safety. Then after nearly 2 hours of work, they were the ones in danger.
Our vehicle was going to die. It was going to quit running and we were going to be stranded. That was the only reason we stopped.
Stopping is their only regret.
I would have drove through hell and back. I would have driven through another 5 feet of fire and another tree in the way. I would have knocked whatever it had to happen down, try to get to the rest of the cabins on this mountain, and I would have never stopped until I'd gotten every person off.
It's about the next day seeing X's in front of houses instead of O's with numbers in them where people died.
Yeah, they were very adamant that they do not want to be considered heroes. They were one of many who they didn't think, they just acted that day. They were taught that if somebody's in trouble, that you do not leave them behind. Reporting in Gatlinburg, China Green, Local 8 News.
That is the volunteer way. China thinks. A major event